Hello and welcome to my last week of this vegetarian challenge. This week is vegan week, but to be more specific, it's plant-based week. So there's a difference between being vegan and being plant-based a little bit. Usually when we say vegan, we mean someone who's living their whole life being vegan. For example, they don't wear leather, they don't use animal products outside of eating, but also within eating, they of course don't eat any meat, but also no animal products, which would include dairy or honey or anything that an animal makes, like an egg as well. Let's say plant-based. You're gonna hear me use them interchangeably, but I mean plant-based. Vegan is a lifestyle that encompasses more than eating, so I'm gonna mean plant-based here. So this week I'm eating no meat, no animal-based products, just to be clear. And I have another guest, so let's go ahead and listen to her introduction. And here's where, in the meeting that I recorded with our guest Dana, I forgot to press record when she was doing her introduction, or I pressed record and then I pressed pause, I don't know. But here she is. She's been a vegetarian on and off for 8 years, and she currently lives in Astana, Kazakhstan. So I can't wait to show you my week. I do want to preface that I lost all the receipts for the food that I made and bought, so I have no idea the pricing anymore, and going to those stores to find the prices is just not in my scope of what I want to do, you know? So, watch the other 3 videos and you'll know general price ranges. I'm not using any ingredients that are like crazy this time that are different, just regular products. So without further ado, let's get into the week. Hello, please ignore the dishes in the back. I'm a normal human being who doesn't do her dishes. So from that restaurant close by, I ordered meze, which means falafels, hummus, dough, and tomatoes, and it's too small. I didn't know. But I do want to explain that you can buy hummus at regular stores. Of course, falafels are made out of chickpeas and parsley, which you can buy tomatoes in this little lavash. So you could make this yourself in Kazakhstan. I am just busy on this Monday, so I don't have time, and I didn't meal prep again. I don't know if it's gonna be enough. I'm like, probably still gonna be hungry. What should I do though? Actually, that was kind of filling. I'm surprised. I might be still hungry later. Nilo. Nevertheless, I'm gonna have some dried mango. I love dried mango. It's like the best. All right, so first dinner of the plant-based week is chili. So I love making chili. So easy to make and just so delicious. It reminds me of home. Living in Texas, like Tex-Mex food, chili is like very common. Of course, usually the chili is meat-based, and actually some people in Texas say chili with beans is not real chili. But you know what? This is plant-based version, so I have chili here, and then I always pair it with rice because rice and beans together make a complete protein. So I'm gonna eat this for dinner, and I also have an orange.
So at first, in LA, I bought a chicken. I didn't like the chicken at all because it was so dry, like tasteless. I don't know, for me, I don't know how other people. But so I wanted to buy good meat, and it was quite pricey. So I said, well, maybe no meat for me for like, I don't know, 3 years.
All right, for lunch today, I have a salad. And I know, that sounds boring and so plant-based, like a salad. And a lot of people don't like eating salads, but I would say there's an important way to look at salads and to make them taste good. First of all, think of it as a bowl. Like a bowl sounds hip and interesting. Sounds like it has a lot of stuff in it. You can go to some restaurant and choose your items to get a bowl. In this salad, I have a lot of things. Lettuce, cucumber, tomato, radish, chickpeas, bulgur, which is a type of grain. Is there anything else? And then for the dressing, something very simple. Onions, a few spices, vinegar, and oil. And since there's so much variety in there, it feels more interesting. An interesting salad or an interesting bowl is way more delicious than just a salad, right? Tuesday's dinner. It's the same as yesterday, except that I forgot that I had canned corn in my fridge, so I added canned corn to my chili. You can't tell maybe, but chili, rice, and I was gonna have a smoothie this morning, but then I didn't. So I'm also gonna eat a banana that was in my smoothie with peanut butter, and then I'll probably drink some soy milk along with that because I like the flavor match of banana, peanut butter, and soy milk. So I'm gonna have that after I have my chili and rice.
I don't know. I feel like in any country, not just in Kazakhstan, if you didn't try to do something, then you feel, oh, this is weird, this is odd. Why she's not eating meat? You know, I think it's like normal, but I think the young population, like young generation, they're a bit more open-minded. Like you say, I don't eat meat, like, oh, okay, cool. I eat meat, so that's fine. But older people, they're like, oh my God, like how you survive? Like, what do you eat, you know?
Good morning! It's Wednesday, and I have a breakfast that I'm so excited about because I haven't had this fruit in forever. It's a smoothie! Look at that! Oh, look at the color! Ah! So it's a blueberry banana smoothie. Inside is soy milk, blueberries, bananas, spinach, a little bit of coconut milk, and chia seeds and flax seeds. And so everything but the blueberries is, I forgot, and some pea protein powder. Usually the other fruit that I have is strawberries or cherries because they're cheaper and you can find them easier. But I found blueberries and I was like, I'm gonna spend it. I'm gonna buy the frozen blueberries. They're always frozen. So the fruit that I get besides the bananas are frozen. And I don't just have this. I have this full jar. Usually I drink out of this nut butter jar, but sometimes I make a little extra, so I have 2 jars. Let's eat out of the pretty one. I'm so excited. An unfortunate thing about the protein that I buy is that you can always taste it, at least at the first few swigs, first few drinks of it, but it's good. And it's so colorful. I love it. Ah! All right, here we are with my salad. You can't see from the top, but there's lettuce underneath. There's lettuce underneath there. But I have all the ingredients of yesterday. And I forgot to mention yesterday, this is a rather big portion. Like after I eat this, I feel very full. Usually when I have a salad, it's a big salad. It's a lot. Wednesday's lunch. Wednesday's lunch. All right, this is an update. I need snack. So I get dried mango. So I'm in the middle of editing a video that's taking a very, very long time. So I don't have enough time to cook dinner. Ugh, why is my life like this? So I originally had something else planned to cook, but then I actually bought this Vegetasty ramen at Gastronom when I did my fancy food video. And I just happened to look in the back and I looked through all the ingredients and there's no meat or animal products, so hell yeah. So what I did is I just cooked that up and then I added some spinach and some radish. I added the radish because I have some left over, and I added the spinach for the same reason. I have some that I'm not going to be able to use by the end of the week, so I added it in. Normally I would add an egg or 2 to this, but obviously I can't add an egg or 2 to this because it's vegan week, but this is such a lifesaver. Hell yeah. So I'm gonna eat this and then continue editing a video. I'm also gonna eat this little orange. Well, it's a big orange, so I'm kidding. I'm not gonna eat it full like that.
Like options when you know, go with people and they, you know, enjoy a meal and you have just a salad or like, I don't know, rice with vegetables. It's just like such a small options. And I don't know. I feel like I want to know more people that are kind of thinking the same way. Because it's easier, it's more fun, you know, you can go to buy groceries together and just, it's more fun to just be you alone. So, and yeah, I think it's just less fun being vegetarian in Kazakhstan.
It's Thursday morning and I've got another smoothie and I've got the same cat as yesterday. Wow. So this smoothie is the same as yesterday, except instead of blueberries, it's strawberries, so the color isn't as good. Strawberries never make this smoothie like a good color, I suppose, but let's have a little sip. Protein powder. But after protein powder, it's a good flavor. So I don't have enough time to cook. I was gonna cook a new lunch, but I don't have the time because I'm very busy today on this Thursday. So I ordered a chickpea curry from the restaurant that's next door. And it's vegan, obviously. And that comes with rice. I've had it before, it's pretty good. It has potatoes, onions, some chickpeas, obviously. And I also made a little salad because I have a lot of leftover salad ingredients.
Tomato-based goods up here. Tomato-based, wow.
Mmm.
We also have some diced tomatoes.
All right, so it's, what day is it? Thursday night's dinner, and I was able to cook 2 dishes. I have lunch ready for tomorrow, which you'll see tomorrow. For dinner, I made a Filipino dish. Now, I've never made Filipino food before, but I'm interested in trying different types of food, and I was looking up recipes for this week, and I thought, oh, I'll try this. It's called Caldereta. I'm sorry if I say it incorrectly, but basically I would call it some type of tomato-based meat stew. For the meat, I think usually it's beef, but obviously I'm not eating beef. And I went with soy chunks. So we used this in the Beshbarmak video last week. It's just dehydrated soy chunks that you can rehydrate. So that's the meat, but also inside are tomatoes, tomato paste, bell peppers, peas, green peas, potatoes, carrots, and of course onion and garlic. Additionally, it added soy sauce and Worcestershire sauce, I think, and I added a little bit of chili pepper. It said you can eat it with any type of grain, and I have some bulgur wheat left over from the salads, so I figured I'd eat that. Normally, you know, whenever I have a stew, I eat it with rice, but we'll have bulgur wheat this time, so yeah. Mmm. Ooh, it tastes like a stew. Oh, this is good.
I do like to buy foods in the market. It's Artyom. Do you know Artyom? So it's a good place. Also outside the cities, one market is a good one. Eco shop for granola. I like to buy granola there. But coconut oil I bought in the Gastronomics in Sarashik. It's a big mall. They have options as well. So yeah, I'd say I buy things there mostly. And yeah, like you can buy anywhere. Rice you can buy anywhere. Buckwheat you can buy anywhere pretty much. But like granola or like some candies, Eco shop, or like, you know, fruits and veggies in the market only.
Okay, I'm so excited for today's lunch because I mentioned yesterday that I prepped it. Oh man, whenever I prep something, I feel so accomplished. But also, dude, this looks so much better than I thought it would. And I'm so proud of myself. It's vegan shepherd's pie. I've never had shepherd's pie before, so I'm not sure what's supposed to be in it. But I'm guessing beef or something like that with mashed potatoes on top. And I made it all vegan, and it looks so good. And I also have a salad here. It's good. I did a good job. Hell yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm not looking to be anybody's wife, but wife me. Wife me. Look at this. Oh my. You know, most of the time I think my cooking is just meh. It's just normal, edible, you know, I can eat it. But this feels like homemade food, you know, like your mom made it and it's delicious and you love it and you love your mom, and I'm your mom in this case. And also, I'm gonna have an orange. All right, I really didn't want to turn on a camera light, so I'm just sitting by the window hoping that you can still see me. It is Friday night and I'm doing nothing, but I do have my delicious Caldereta. And also I have a little bit of bulgur wheat left, and then I cooked up some rice. Nilu, don't get your hair in my food! But yeah, that's my dinner. It's midnight on this fine Friday, so I've made myself a little smoothie. I didn't have a smoothie this morning, so I thought I would make one now. I felt a little hungry, and it all fits in one. Actually, I had a few sips already, but it almost all fits in one of these little glasses. So inside is a frozen banana, spinach, protein powder, but then also peanut butter,
cocoa powder and soy milk and a little bit of coconut milk and chia seeds, and it tastes pretty good. Tastes like a chocolate smoothie, I guess. I wanted it to be a bit more thick, like a milkshake, but it's not. My blender was not having it tonight. I feel sorry if I have a neighbor, I'm not sure. But if that neighbor is still there, my blender decided to join a metal rock band. So I'm sorry, but it's good. And I've never made this before, just like the first time.
I'm actually thinking if I go back to Europe, I might, turn vegan again, because I feel unhealthy, like inside. Because to me, when I was vegetarian, I didn't have any problem in my stomach, digestion and everything. And my skin was better. I had more energy, much more energy. So I want to kind of improve my health a bit. That's why being vegetarian, I think, for me is an option, because it doesn't work for everybody, Some people, it works for them. For some people, it doesn't work. And I think you should be careful. Maybe just go to see a doctor, did some tests to see, because you need to substitute things that, that you were eating from meat.
Hello, it's Saturday, and for breakfast I didn't have any because I woke up late, as I normally do. And for lunch I'm gonna have the shepherd's pie. It looks all messed up here, but it's still delicious. Let's call it deconstructed. No, when I was taking it out, it was messy. And then I also have a salad. I've also got this orange, so I'm gonna eat this orange. I just came back from a cafe and I had a matcha latte, but instead of regular milk, I had it with coconut milk. And I've had a matcha latte with coconut milk before and it was pretty good, so my stomach is still kind of full from that. It was quite large, so I'm not hungry, but I need to go out again, and I don't want to buy anything when I go out because the place I'm going I don't think has like any vegan options for sure. So I'm just gonna have a little portion of chili that I made earlier in the week, because this is the amount that's left over. So I have some extra time. So I'm gonna have a little bit of mango, dried mango. Nilu always acts like she wants some, but then she never wants some.
I feel like it would be so much fun if there's like a community here, would be community, or like clubs where people gather, just maybe cook some meal and just enjoy it together. Kind of advertise it maybe more, because I feel like there's no need to eat meat in Kazakhstan, that we consume so much. I mean, I know I've seen in the States that people consume too much meat, but here I know some people that eat meat for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner. And I think that's too much.
On Sunday, I went to a restaurant called Koktiem, and they have a variety of vegetarian and some vegan options. This is a vegan bacon burger. So the mayonnaise, or the white stuff, is not made with any type of egg or milk. The patty itself is made out of tofu, and the bacon part, I have no idea what it's made out of, to be honest. It also came with French fries, and at this restaurant there are two places to order, the grill section and the regular restaurant section, and you can find this burger at the grill section. The restaurant section has other choices as well.
Okay.
How does it taste?
Well, I got most of the bun, so I need to go in farther, but first of all, it doesn't taste like meat. Let's be honest here.
I'm not sponsored by this restaurant, but I would also recommend their curries, paneer curries, if you're a vegetarian.
But it's good. Whatever's in it is good. All right, here we are at the last meal of this whole experience and the last meal of the vegan week. And it's very humble because I have leftovers. I'm just gonna have the little last bit of Caldereta, and I also have my lentil shepherd's pie here. And then I'm also going to have a orange. And then I wanna talk about the dessert that I'm gonna have, because I feel like I need a dessert. So I'm making it right now. It's not really a dessert, let's not lie to ourselves. It is chia pudding. So basically you put chia seeds in there with any type of liquid. I've chosen soy milk because I have some in my fridge. Then I added brown sugar and cocoa powder. Basically you just let it solidify, and then it becomes more like a pudding texture. I feel like I have a little chocolatey pudding dessert with an interesting texture. So that's it, that's the end, and this is my final meal.
All right, and we've ended the final week, the plant-based week, the epitome of being vegetarian. And you know, it wasn't that hard at all. The most difficult aspect is finding food in restaurants. Now, usually you can search and find one type of vegetarian dish at most restaurants, most, not all, but they usually have some type of dairy product or egg, so it's very difficult to find vegan options. As I mentioned in my first video, I think some people have forgotten, I've been mostly vegetarian before this video series anyways. Like, I would eat meat occasionally at restaurants when there was no other option, or like I said before, when people invite me to their house, I'll eat whatever they serve me because I'm a guest and I'm not gonna be like, no, whatever you make, I'm not gonna eat it. But I think some people are a bit confused in thinking that I wasn't vegetarian before this, because I was. So this challenge, you know, it wasn't so much of a challenge for me. The themes were what were challenging, not the being vegetarian itself. The vegan week, it was challenging to find a restaurant, but you know, everything else, you know, it's easy to modify things to take out the milk or egg or animal product option in it. It's very simple, you know, if you make your own food. Another thing is that I've gotten a few comments saying that I've lost weight. It's clear that I've lost weight from this diet, and let me tell you, I've gained weight. I know you might not be able to tell, but I have. Trust me, I haven't lost weight. My health has not declined. Moving forward, I still am mostly vegetarian. One time I went to a wedding and I had to eat the meat there, so you know, it's not 100%, but mostly I'm vegetarian, the same as normal. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.